windows on our canvas tents have some great features. The first and most important feature is the fact that all our windows have an internal window cover instead of an external one like you find in a lot of other tents. This means that one, the window can be opened up from the inside. This means in the morning you don't have to run outside your tent to open up the windows to try and cool your tent down. It also means that you can adjust how far you zip these panels down. If you want to zip them part way down, so then I have a PVC window at the top. Now this lets light inside your tent, but stops rain and wind coming inside your tent. So they're also located nice and high up on the tent, which means that you don't lose all your privacy, even on a windy, rainy day. Now if you zip them down kind of halfway, you can turn these into vents. This means once again you still a little bit of airflow flowing through, so it cools the tent down, but you don't lose all your privacy, and you can still keep cupboards and things like that up against this edge of your tent. You roll them all the way down, and you're rolled up. And it's designed to sit inside the pocket like that. Now I've already unzipped the side of this tent. Now this window here has a full side opening, which means that two zips can be unzipped from the outside, and then the bottom velcro can be undone. This whole panel can be rolled up. It's designed to roll inwards. When you roll it inwards, you'll notice that there's a seal ring on the inside, on the outside it rolls into, and that goes through this toggle here. 3 different places. The reason we want our windows to roll inwards rather than outwards is that if we roll them outwards, then there's more chance of getting water and leaves and rubbish sitting on top of this roll on the outside, whereas this way here keeps it nice and clean and less likely to get built up of rubbish. And also, finally, our doors come down with a little angle panel on either side. This angle panel is designed to give a seam which will go down to this key point in the bottom here. This adds strength to your tent, so even though you've got the whole side open, you'll still get a lot of strength from both these peak points. All the doors and side openings on our campus tents for Freedom Camping use YKK zippers. We got a little bit extra effort on our zippers and cut off all the steel zip pullers on all our zips to make sure that they don't jingle during the middle of the night when the breeze gets up. We replace the steel zip pullers with these cords. These are reflective webbing cords, and this makes them easier to grab, and they're also easy to find during the night, so if you've got a torch you can find out where the zip is sitting in the zip. The zips themselves are actually reversed as well, which means this face fabric sits on the outside rather than inside on a traditional zipper. That means the zips are less likely to catch sand and grit, which is really important if you're camping beside a beach or beside the seaside where there's a lot of dust floating up. The front doors on Freedom Campus tents have a unique safety feature, which means when the door is zipped up, the two zippers can lie side by side. And there's a little hook on the inside here. You can clip onto both cords. That means there's no chance of someone else from the outside being able to open up your door. Okay, as we mentioned, some of our campus tents have full side openings. This means that there's two zips on either side of the door. A large Velcro strip runs along the side. So once you have these open, then these side openings can be pulled out. Now, every one of our tents that has a side opening will come with at least one set of awning poles, so that you can either side. Now if you lay these poles over on a little bit of an angle, get a little bit more tension into that pole, so that by the time you straighten it up, it sits a little bit tighter. Now side openings are great for a number of reasons. One, they let a lot of airflow flowing through, see from one side to the other. It also gives you another access point into your tent. A lot of people will turn the front of their tent into a sunroom, the front of their tent into a kitchen area. So this becomes your entry and exit out of your tent. If you have two side openings, then you can decide which side you want to have your entry and exit. So it really makes a huge difference when you're camping. The Freedom canvas tents have some great awnings. So on our larger tents we have an awning which is 2.7 metres, and on our smaller tents we have an awning which is 2.2 metres long. One thing that we do with our larger awnings is that because they're so long, there's a chance of water pooling in this part here, and that means that when water gets in there, it can stretch the canvas and you can spend your whole camping holiday pushing that water out of the awning area. To get around that, what we've done is we've raised the centre pole height, and this creates a peaked awning, or anti-pool awning as we call it. That means that when the water's running down from the roof, it's got a low point to run off on either side, and you're less likely to get any water pooling in the side here. It also means that runoff comes down or runs outside the tent rather than running down your window or inside with your when the sunroom's on. Finally, we have these pole suck covers, and this stops water running down this pole down the pole there into your awning area. That blocks off that side there. Now, inside the awning, a lot of people will turn these awnings into a kitchen or a living area, and the way people do that is often by adding a sunroom. Freedom Camping sunrooms are three-piece sunrooms, and that means they come in three different panels. You can see there's Velcro on the inside of this wall here. There's a panel which fits over the side of that one there, and a panel on the front, and a panel on the opposite side. The reason we do three-piece awnings instead of three-piece sunrooms instead of a sunroom which goes all the way around is because you can take those sides on and off, which will mean that if you want some airflow flowing through the side, you can take this side panel off here and just have a windbreak which goes all the way around the side. Now, on the front of these, to create these three-piece awnings, we have these valances, and these valances go down and peg down into the ground at the front of the tent. This makes the tent a lot stronger. One of the weak parts of the canvas tent is if wind gets underneath this awning, it can lift up the front of your tent. By having these valances come down in the front, it gives you an anchor point at the front of your awning area, so you're a lot stronger and a lot more stable. Inside the awning, we have these little rings. And these little rings here are found in each of the corners and up on the ridge poles. They're designed so that you can tie guy cords or ropes around the sides of this awning area, and that lets you string up kitchen utensils, or it lets you string up clotheslines or anything you want to do inside this awning area here. It just gives you some attachment to attach onto. The awnings over all our canvas tents will change in size, but the sunrooms don't. We only have two types of sunrooms, two sizes of sunrooms, and we changed the tent to match the sunroom. So you're guaranteed that if you buy a tent this year and in 2 years' time you want to get a sunroom for it, we're always going to have a sunroom which is going to match, because our sunrooms will be universal as we go forward. The other thing that a sunroom will come with is a removable floor. So with the three side panels that come down, there's a little floor panel which comes underneath. We have a removable floor which sits on top of that. And the reason we make it removable is so that if you wanted to cook in there or have this as your kitchen area, you can lift it up without the threat of spilling coffee or spilling anything on your floor or hot food on your floor. If you want to use it as a sleeping area, you can put that floor panel down again, and it'll keep it a lot more secure and a lot more watertight as well.